Welcome into the breakdown and happy Sunday. Yes, we're going to dissect that. Your official post-match of Super Rugby is coming up right here. Plus a Six Nations thriller this morning. Some are even saying the greatest game of rugby ever. We're going to get these guys to go head-to-head in a debate, and we want you to get involved and join the conversation as well. Which region has produced the greatest loose forwards of all time? Auckland or Canterbury? Have your say. Scan that QR code and Marshy, well, he can breathe a little easier tonight, as can all of you Crusaders fans. Here's what's coming up on the show.
The Brumbies are the best team going in the Super Rugby Pacific this year. They'll be hard to beat.
Fiji rugby at its best.
The Rumours have won for the very first time against the Brumbies. Nasova flicks it out the back. Draw Sessi. Will Jordan slipping through and scoring Will Jordan.
The Crusaders win the Southern Derby.
Carter Gordon gets him behind.
Queensland Reds who get their revenge on the Waratahs.
Crichton needs a bounce. Did he get it in time? Yes, he did.
The Western course caught napping, and Flanders scores.
Love coming home, mate.
They're going to put the gas on. He gets into a man with plenty of pace. And the Highlanders at their second.
Tony Umaga! Unbelievable! The man's got spiders on him.
Puts one on the plate for Blackhead and gets it back. Lee on debut. Johnny Lee, welcome to Super Rugby.
Okay, that was a seriously impressive debut, and look, I'm sure we're going to hear all about it over the next hour. Good to have you joining us on the program. How good is Sunday Rugby? Justin Marshall, Mills Moana, and the intelligence levels have just gone up about 3 notches. But they're brilliant forwards. Stephen Bates joining the show. Batesy, good to have you back.
Well said, Kirsty. Well said.
How are you doing, Batesy?
No, we're good. We're good. Good to be here. And as you mentioned, Sunday afternoon footy. How good?
Doesn't get better than this,
How
right?
good.
Are you as good as Marshy today? Because the world is not ending, Marshy.
I know.
You got one in the bank.
There is some positivity in the air in and around Crusaders land, which was great. And it produced another fantastic game, Southern Derby. And the Crusaders got a very much needed win.
Well, from the Southern Derby to the Battle of the 09. We're going to go straight back to Eden Park right now because Sam Darry is joining us live on the breakdown. Sam, really appreciate you joining us on the program, and a big congratulations. That must have been what the doctor ordered for the Blues today. How impressed were you with that performance from your side?
It was awesome. It was awesome to come away with the 5 points. I think we knew the challenge that they were going to bring. This rivalry's kind of gained a bit of traction the last few years, and we love coming to play them, especially here at our home. And they really took it to us that first half. We're playing into a bit of a breeze, and they trapped us down in our half. But really happy with how the boys came out in the second half and performed.
Sam, congratulations, mate. Wonderful performance. You spoke about that first half and how much they threw at you. Some animated pictures from the halftime break, mate. What was Vern saying?
I think I'll keep it in-house a wee bit, but I think you can tell from his... I think you can tell... I don't think I'll be able to say most of it on here, but I think you can tell from his expressions that, we weren't happy with how we kind of fronted up physically, I think. On defence, we felt like we were maybe holding our line all right, but we weren't really taking it to them and dominating those collisions, so we were kind of letting them into the game that way. So, a bit of that around tightening up our collisions, going through them, and I think you kind of saw that a wee bit in the second half.
Sammy, you talk about your collisions in the second half there, mate. Like Moana, a physical team. You guys are always pretty direct, but it was almost like you made a point of really getting stuck in and going around those fringes today. Was that sort of part of the game plan to take them on where they're at their best?
Yeah, a wee bit. We like to think that's our strength as well, and we like to kind of go through them, dent them as every team does, and then hopefully the space opens up out wide, and we're lucky that we've got some extremely talented backs out wide, the likes of Cody Vai, Caleb Clark, that are playing really well at the moment. So it's our job as forwards to get us going forward through the middle and hopefully create some space for the boys out wide.
Sam, you obviously couldn't say what Vern was talking to you about at half-time. Can you talk about what he's like post-match after a victory like that? Does he throw his arm around you? What's he like? Surely there's no swear words post-match.
Oh, definitely. I haven't seen him yet, but nah, he's awesome. He's awesome. He cares deeply about this team. He's very competitive, as are we all, and I think he gets frustrated when we're not at our best because he knows how good we can be. So, he definitely throws his arm around us, especially when we do take it up a level that second half. So, he'll be good after the game.
Well done out there. On a personal note, you are leading our current man of the match poll. You're absolutely brilliant. Go and celebrate.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Sam Darry joining us there live from Eden Park in your official post-match breakdown special show. Who was your player of the match? Obviously, Sam Darry is leading that race right now. 48%, a few Cantabs maybe voting down there. But take your pick by scanning that QR code. What did you make of his performance today, Batesy?
Yeah, I think he's good. I think the probably line-out probably wobbled a little bit towards the back end of it, but that's something where Sammy's really good at. And what I enjoy about his play in general is that he's exceptional around the line-out, but he's also 2 metres 2, 2 metres 3, but he's a big human as well. He's not like a beanpole. He's a big human and gets physical around those fringes with his carry clean.
Is he the tallest lock in New Zealand?
Quite possibly, yeah. He'd be very close to it. Maybe Fabian Holland, yeah. Those two would be the tallest that are operating around this country. But yeah, I totally agree. He's learning too. Like, evolution is key, and I feel that with Sam, know he's physical, know that he's intelligent. He obviously speaks really well, doesn't? So he knows the game. All he needs to do now is realise that you can sometimes shy away from the physicality by being a distributor. And I'm watching a lot of what's been going on in Europe at the moment with the Six Nations, and some of the ball play that their middle row hasn't been involved in. That's where we need to get to. And I think Sam brings that into his game, then man, he's going to be the full package.
Yeah, it's been disrupted a lot by injury last year, missed the whole season, right? And you've got to think of the guy that's not there with him in terms of his leader, and Tui Polotu. So he's taken on a lot of that responsibility, and he's actually really thriving. You're right, when he sort of started off, he was a bit of a beanpole. He's filled out a lot, but he's sort of also starting to understand his body from a physical point of view, and to take on Moana like the way he's sort of done, that's pretty big. Let's
talk about that Blues performance then, because that was a really important win to bank, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly wasn't that. I reckon they played a little bit differently. I know Sam didn't allude to it too much, but they've been really good, I reckon, at denting the line and then going wide. We didn't see too much of that today. They just went almost straight through the front door, but like they got a bonus point win at Eden Park as well. So really it starts to set their season up well, especially if they can go do the business in Sydney next week. And then I believe they've got a bye after that. They'll be pretty happy with where they're at.
I don't mind what they've sort of done this year. Last year, they took a long time to understand, to try and give a little bit of balance in their game. They were very direct from the year before when they won it, which was a game plan that sort of won them the title. But as the rules sort of changed, they sort of still went direct. They found their way, and they found their way earlier. They've got a lot of speedsters out in the wider channels, but now they're starting to actually exploit some of those opportunities.
Well, as far as guests on the breakdown go, I don't think they get bigger than this. Two-time World Rugby Player of the Year, of course, All Blacks great Beauden Barrett joins us live from Eden Park. Bodie, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations. The lungs must feel a bit better this week after last week.
Yeah, thanks, team. They certainly do, although playing in the afternoon under the sun, it's awesome. There's a bit of running rugby out there, and I felt Moana really tested us early, and it was a little bit frustrating there in the first half. So it's good to finally get the win, but felt like we didn't have a complete performance. So yeah, plenty to work on.
Bodie, Marshy here. Great to see you back, and 2 excellent performances, mate. I wanted to ask you about a couple of things I noticed in the game with your kicking strategy. The spiral punt has come back, and you peeled off a couple of absolutely fabulous ones. The reason behind that, and secondly, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, are you old enough to ever be playing with a leather ball, the old school leather ball? Did you punt that around at any stage?
Yeah, I do have a leather ball at home, and I have a Sheeran as well, so I learned to kick the bananas with that Sheeran, and
nice.
Look, there was a big wind in this game. In the first half, we were into it, and yeah, downwind, when you've got an angle, I love kicking that spiral. So it was nice to, when I've got a bit of time, pull that out because it does travel.
Beauden Millsy here. Hey, you would have loved, the forwards would have loved that spiral and getting you some territory, but the points that you scored, 40-odd, that was impressive. But on the other side of that too, defensively, what were the messages at half-time? Because you didn't give them any points in that second half.
Yeah, I felt we were on our heels a bit, and we were not getting enough double shoulders in the first half, so we're always on the back foot. There were some very stern words at half-time about getting on our toes, about intent, and we showed that with both sides of the ball. So, yeah, it shouldn't really take a rack up at half-time, but we just didn't quite feel that connection or that intensity in the first half that we needed.
But when you talk about the intensity, mate, was that just a mindset thing to get that intent right, or was there specifics around what they expected from you at halftime, or was it simply the intent and the attitude and the top 2 inches that sorted that out?
I think we've just got to do it all the time. You know, we can turn it on at times, and it's about being relentless. We scored some good tries in the first half, but we'd knock off at the same time. So we've just got to compound those moments and really put them under pressure.
Beauden, really appreciate you joining us. I think your daughters are at the game with a few hand-painted signs, so we'll let you catch up with your family and the fans.
Yeah.
Are they right next to you?
Thanks so much, team. Yeah, they're just here. We've got a good turnout. Wave to the camera. Wave to the camera. Big smiles.
Awesome. That's what it's all about. Thanks so much, Beauden.
Good girl. Oh, good.
Oh, that's so cool. I think that was one of his youngest in there as well. That's a special moment, isn't it?
Can I just say, Kirst, but that's what Sunday afternoon footy does.
Families.
If we kick off at 7:05, they're probably not there. So if we want young kids and you want to grow the game, that's awesome, that picture, you know?
Hey, I just want to bring something else up, the stern Vern words, because both of them just mentioned it. Like, we know that this guy's a really tough operator, but then also loves his players at the same time. Who's the sternest coach that you three ever had? And do you remember a really rack up that you had at halftime?
There's been a few. Like, obviously, I had Vern as an assistant coach with the Crusaders, and when he said things, he meant them. There's no doubt.
Did he look directly at you?
Yeah, he did. There's no doubt about that. But look, I think in the modern day that the coaches became a lot more composed. I certainly feel that there is, every now and then, there'll certainly be a spray. I think some of the famous ones I've heard from are not a changing room I've been in, was Michael Checker.
Yeah.
Like, he could fly off the lid a little bit. And maybe Jamie back in the day, but hey, he's mellowed in his time too.
You too? You got any stories, some classics?
I reckon John Mitchell scared me a little bit, but the best spray that I've ever heard and ever got was from Warren Gatlin.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't miss.
Yeah.
He did not miss. And it didn't have to be at half-time. It could have been in a review session, and he didn't miss.
2011, it'd have to be when we lost to the Wallabies and Suncorp. And Graham Henry wasn't too bad, but he kicked the hanger that was on the floor. Ooh. And it sort of went round sideways and then sort of ended up beside me. So everyone thought that he was angry at me. I mean, I did miss a couple of tackles, but it didn't deserve a hanger, did it?
You're perfect, Millsy. You never do anything wrong. Batesy, you've obviously got your coaching hat on, and still, how do you treat your players if they're not performing at halftime?
Oh, you know, I think you can only... A spray is only needed if you think the intent or the mindset's not right. That's my opinion. Like, if you're lacking effort, that's when you've got to question what we're doing. If you're dropping a pass and your attitude's right and you're just missing stuff, I don't think that's the time and place. But when you start to question the effort and the intent, that's when you've got issues, I reckon.
That tells you Batesy's given the Auckland boys a few sprays over the last couple of years. Here is our brand new segment on the breakdown. It is They Said It from across the weekend.
I was going to defend you then, but I saw it was Lucan, so I was a bit scared.
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably get you there.
He's not happy.
Well, the Bananas have turned up too. Crouch! Wonder if they'll split early.
The last time I saw him was a high school party, so it is good to see you, Colin.
Some momentum now?
Yeah, I mean, we've had some funny games.
Do something!
6 or 7, I'll be there.
We just jump on and just have a wee jam, you know, have a bit of fun.
And the little 10 just boop far.
I'm sure the front row of the tight 5 forwards are discussing stake options after the match tonight.
Well, let's talk beautiful bodies. Tawatawanawa, you talked of Jim the Boulder, I think is now what you called him.
Jim the Difference and now Jim the Mareki Boulder. What are we running with up the nose there? Can we get a close?
Not too sure if after Bob whether it's toilet paper or something else.
Breakdowns, couple of carry cleans.
There'll be a bit of crunch and punch on that.
I think, you know, some of the World Rugby rules right now, I mean, far out. There's no support in the backfield, man, so World Rugby, if you're watching, change that rule ASAP, baby.
Strong words there from Ruben, Love and Napier. As someone who's played out the back, what do you reckon? He's pleading to World Rugby to change the rules there. Maybe you've got something you want to say and a law change you want to make. Scan that QR code on your screens right now. Have your say in the polls and join the conversation on the breakdown. Does it need to happen, Millsy?
Oh, I think he's got a valid point at some degree. I mean, the guys are getting plenty of height there. But it's it's a pretty lonely place when you don't quite get it right. And the amount of kicking that's happening at the moment, particularly contestables, yeah, he could have a right there.
The only thing I'd say about that is what I do like about it, and I've never been back there, so I don't really care that much. But what I do like is when they don't get those contestables right, and the team that kicks it wins the ball back. That's when we see open style of rugby play. Because you look at how they do it. As soon as they win one of those back, then they move the ball to the edge, and then we start seeing from free throwing rugby.
Love to see you out the back a bit more, Batesy.
Yeah.
He'd never fit out there.
Yeah. We're going to show some drills later, Millsy, that you could be involved in, mate.
Well, I tell you what, Tana Umaga has been at Eden Park this afternoon, but he's been the talk of the town all week as a potential All Blacks assistant coach. Jeff Wilson is catching up with him.
Well, Tana, before we get to other matters, look, it's a tough gig, this coaching, but your team, it continues to fight and work hard. Where now for Moana Pasifika over the next few weeks, particularly because you're going home?
Yeah, look, we've got home games coming up, and, we've got two short turnarounds back-to-back, so it doesn't get easy for us. But, we've shown we can fight, and, we make opportunities for us, and we didn't, it didn't go away in that first half, but we still got to show up and show a bit of resilience too, and some tough things go against you. You still got to get up and get back on the horse, and like I think we spoke about it at the same time. We're motivated and we had some emotion around it, but again, that emotion without any focus is kind of gets wasted. So, look, we'll look at this and we're pretty disappointed the way the game went, but. We've got to get on the horse, and we've got a game next Saturday, so it's a short turnaround, and we just got to fix it. And again, as you saw and you said again at the start, we're leaking too many points. We're making opportunities for us, and we didn't get to take those today. But we've got to sort it out and sort it out quick.
Is this where you find out what you're made of as a coach as well, and your coaching staff when you get challenges like this?
Oh, exactly. We can want it all we want, and the key is not to over-analyse. Because you can get stuck down rabbit holes and you can go looking for things, but in the end, we've got to just make sure that, what are we about? What's our DNA? And I think we've shown that, but we've got to show that for, longer minutes than we're showing at the moment. And again, the defensive side of the game, we've got to get better. As simple as that.
Tana, obviously it's been a big conversation this week about the potential to be an All Black assistant coach. Can you clarify whether or not you have been approached by New Zealand Rugby?
Yeah, I've been approached. I've had a couple of chats to Dave Rennie in the last couple of days. So, we're just going through that process at the moment, and we'll see where that goes. But again, I've got a job to do here at the moment, and that's great to have that opportunity. Whether it comes to anything is, that's work that's got to be done. But I'm, as I've just talked about, I've got a few issues of my own to get sorted, and for the team that I love so much, and I want to make sure that we're doing right by this club and where we're going.
You led the All Blacks though, and you led them proudly as their captain. As a coach, do you think that was always maybe part of the plan? Was that an ambition to maybe get in behind and be one of those people helping the All Blacks be better?
Oh, look, I think I've spoken about it before. I'm just a fan of the All Blacks. I had a great fortune to play for them, and as you said, the privilege of leading them. But since then, I've just been watching them, and it's got a piece of my heart in there. And when you've got that attachment to it, you want it to do well. So. Again, if I get that opportunity, I'll do the best I can to, keep pushing our jersey, the All Black jersey, as far as we can, because we want it at the top.
Thanks, Tana. Well said.
No, tell
What a legend, a man that you've played a lot of rugby with, Marshy, all but confirming on the breakdown right now that he has been approached and there have been a number of conversations in the last 3 days with the new All Blacks coach, Dave Rennie, and they're just sorting things out behind the scenes. That means a contract's coming and he will be an All Blacks assistant coach this year, which is very exciting.
Possibly. Like, I think there is...
You don't think he's just all but confirmed?
Well, like he said, there's quite a few things to work through, and a lot of that...
The current assistants.
Yeah. There's things that you need to work through to make sure that the fit's right. Conversations are conversations, but, you know, there's got to be an agreement about, you know, where do I sit in the picture here? You know, what do I take control of? I am actually a head coach here. So, you know, you've got to work all those things out, and they've got to do their due diligence, man, because it's been off, you know, recently within the coaching structure, and we've seen assistants leaving. So they've got to get this right. So, fantastic. You have a guy like that walking into the changing chute, who's been in there and been All Black captain before. When he finds his role, that's going to bring something special to it, having a guy like that walking in there and inspiring the players.
I'll ask you then, Millsy, is that a done deal?
Almost, but, I mean, if he's saying he's having conversations...
You're a contract man.
Well, I mean, it's great that he's admitted it, right? And I think that's the first thing. So, one, we've got a probable assistant coach. Two is what Marshy's point is, and I think it's working out what his actual role is. No question about whether he walks into the changing room and the respect he's going to have. He was very instrumental when he became captain in terms of, if you hear what Dave Rennie said, the culture. You know, that's the one thing he wants to really dig deep into. Tana was massive on that in 2004 when he came in as captain in 2005 to then, you know, place it there for Richie to take over. And so that ticks those boxes. What role will he play? We know he's been a defensive coach. He's been a head coach. He's also come back from having a break and then going back to the Blues just as, I suppose, consultancy, right? And so it's that really that they'll be trying to sort of, you know, try to sort of establish what's his actual role and what will he do, because there's other guys as well that will come in behind Dave Rennie, right? Yeah,
I just feel, in answer to your question, what we're trying to say is you can't just put somebody in there because they've got the respect and they've done some coaching like Tana. You've got to make sure that the fit works, you know, and that when he is in that environment, that one of the things that people have said a lot about is too many people, too many voices, you know, too many chiefs and not enough Indians. So you put too much personnel in there, you're going straight back to having all those voices that the players are getting frustrated with.
I understand what you're saying. They're going to do their due diligence, but do you think he will be a good All Blacks assistant coach?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. What about you, Batesy?
You can see the care. Like, I know we're talking about the All Blacks, and he's mentioned just in there that part of his heart is in the All Blacks. But you just look at that interview there, like part of his heart is with Moana too, and you can tell in that interview he's bitterly disappointed with where they are. So he shows the same passion as he does for Moana, and he's bitterly disappointed at that today as he does for the All Blacks. So someone that has played that long and has that passionate about it, it can't be a bad thing. And I agree with Marshy. What his role is the key thing, and what that'll be.
What is it? Did you coach with him at the Blues?
I've been involved when he was at the Blues, but yeah, I didn't directly coach with him. But he was a head coach and a defensive coach while I was there. But as Millsy said, then he did some consulting around different things. What will his role be? Well, you know it won't be the head coach. It'll be one of those other two.
Yeah, the big thing is we've established that there's definitely, in Dave Rennie's eyes, the first guy. And so that's where he's building his team around. You know, what it looks like somewhere else, at least we know, hey, well, here's the first guy that sets off the block, and it's Tana Umaga, and well-respected human being, a great All Black. So, you know, we've started that process. What it looks like going forward, I can't wait to see.
So, can I just say also, it's like putting a jigsaw puzzle together, you know what I mean? Tana doesn't have to be the smarts in every single area. No. He's just got to be the smarts in that area there. Then you be a smart, and you be a smart, and you be a smart, and it's what everyone brings to the table collectively, and then we're a whole, you know? So Tana will bring, as Millsy's and both of you talked about, he'll bring some special attributes to what he does. And if we can get on that, and well with other expertise, well, then we're heading in the right direction.
You said he was a lot smarter being on this panel, wasn't he? Yeah, he's a very smart man.
I don't know where that's come from. It's just blanked out and it came out. What did I say?
Get some forward power on the panel. We've asked you this question right here. Is Rennie right in hiring Tana Umaga if it is to happen? 67% of you right now are saying yes. Scan that QR code. Have your say on anything we're talking about on the program. I can see a lot of questions coming through right now, and we're going to get to them in part 2 of the program. But don't forget, tonight, Formula 1 continues the Chinese Grand Prix just before 8 o'clock. Make sure you're watching live and exclusive on Sky Sport. Okay, if you're wondering what the heck is going on in that video, so was I when one of our producers sent that through to our WhatsApp group chat earlier this week. Batesy, as the intelligent forward on the program,
you didn't want to come to us?
Please explain what the heck is happening there. Is that usual
that's a broad forwards coach,
that's good. That's good. It's for scrum shape and neck strength, and mate, that's good. And also, it's club pre-season at the moment, so club coaches get some of that into.
Okay, so you make your players do that, do you?
Well, we make them turn around and do the possum, so you get that visual in ya.
What's that called? What's that called?
I don't have a name for that one. That's standard, so I don't know.
Okay, well, this is Quick Ball, where we ask you a series of questions and you have to answer them relatively quickly. So the first one, what's the strangest training drill that you've ever been involved in? That?
That. And we used to do retreats with Warren Gatlin. Oh, geez, that was tough.
What is it?
Repeated mauls over and over and over and over again. Millsy was there. He was having a cup of tea over there.
I was halfback.
Yeah.
How long are you doing this for?
Oh, we're doing it on a Tuesday for a good 30 minutes. Just like repeated mauls.
And this is when you're getting one of those sprays from Getty?
Yeah, if we're not doing it well enough, we are, yeah.
What about you,
I was in Japan and we had a video analysis with just the backs, and we were watching Benji Marshall and how he sort of sidesteps. And then we went outside and practiced doing his sidesteps. You weren't getting any of that from these hips, I'll tell you that. Only all the Japanese boys try and do it, so that was weird.
You, Marshall?
Oh, I hated when they brought that, this is a forward thing too, that sort of land crab thing in.
Oh, yeah.
That is horrific. That only hurts your lower back and your shoulders. In fact, it works all your muscles, doesn't it? But it hurts all of them at the same time. So I did not enjoy that. Modern day crab, they're crawling along like that. And the other one that was quite amusing was we started to use those, like the Velcro things.
Yes.
You know, and they're around the waist and that for defensive drills.
Yep.
And when you got stuck with a couple of front rowers, man, those things are breaking all the time. Like you're supposed to be moving in a line without the line breaking. Never happened, I can tell you that much.
Okay, well, what is the hardest road trip in Super Rugby, do you think? Because the Drua are becoming, well, they have been in the last few years, haven't they? Really, really difficult to beat in Fiji. But even more so when they take you somewhere completely different.
Yes.
You're not talking Suva or Lautoka.
You want to know what the irony of it is, though? And the images will show from last week against the Hurricanes in this game here, is the mindset when you went to Fiji. You usually go in the middle of the year, around June, July, in the international window when you're an international. It's hot as hell.
Yeah.
Absolutely roasting hot. And they play with their razzle-dazzle and a sevens type style, and you can get fatigued and your lungs are fatigued. This is all in the wet. They're actually better at playing than any other team in really horrible, horrific conditions. Muddy fields, greasy ball. They are better than any of us because we play on these amazing grounds here in generally dry conditions, and some of them stadiums have got roofs.
They're impossible to beat there, though, aren't they?
They're hard.
They're hard.
They're hard.
Is there anywhere harder than Fiji and Super Rugby right now?
Right now, probably not.
No.
Canberra?
Yeah, it's tough, but you'd have to say Canberra ACT just lost to the Reds 2 weeks ago there. So, yeah, Fiji and the Drua would be probably the toughest at the moment, wouldn't it?
Okay, well, sticking with the Aussies, there's been a couple of controversial calls in Super Rugby over the last couple of weeks. I know, what's new? You're screaming at the TV over the weekend. But is this a try for the Waratahs centre, Dylan Riley? Were they robbed, Millsy?
That is...
This was called a no try.
It's a try. Look at that. The ball is down. There's that corner of that ball.
Yeah, I agree. They always say when the point of the ball makes contact, that is grounding. And you think the point of the ball has been grounded before the other part of it hit the chalk. So, yeah, I agree. Try.
Try?
Yeah. What a finish too. Holy moly.
Yeah,
no reward.
Cool.
No reward for doing that.
Exactly, unbelievable. Okay, we've got another poll for you here on the breakdown. Here it comes. Scan that QR code, as we say, and get involved and join the conversation. In your eyes, over the first 5 rounds of Super Rugby, which Kiwi team has impressed you the most? What is the team right now to beat? Because I feel like we've had a mixed bag from so many of our teams. The Hurricanes have sort of been overseas for a couple of weeks. They've had a bye, but are going pretty well. Who is the New Zealand team to beat in Super Rugby right now, Batesy?
I quite like the Blues and the Chiefs, to be honest with you. I do.
What are you seeing from those two?
Well, I just really like that, and Millsy brought it up a couple of minutes ago. What I like about the Blues is that they've gone for a power game when first came in for round 1. Then, for season 1. Season 2, the other teams adapted to them. Now the Blues have gone and they've adapted again. Yes, they've still got that power game. You didn't see so much of it today, but what they do is they dent and they go wide, and they're starting to use guys like Caleb Clark and that on the edge. You probably didn't see as much of it today, but you rewind when they play the Crusaders and some of the tries they scored there. I thought they were outstanding in that. And they've got some good tight 5 members coming back, with Paddy being one of them.
Not one team is sort of really standing out, are they? I mean, if you have to say, it'd be probably the Hurricanes at the moment, just because, I mean, bar that lost their head over in Fiji.
But they haven't played New Zealand
No,
teams.
they haven't, and that's
so
the
it's
big
hard
thing.
to know where they're actually at.
I think also the Chiefs. I think they're sitting there quite nicely. Damien McKenzie's sort of come back. They play a different style, almost a style that really sort of suits them in the Super Rugby competition. So when they're sitting there, I know they got dealt to by the Crusaders, but I think the Chiefs will be looking all right once they come back.
Are you, Marshy?
Well, I'm going to twist your words, because you originally said impressed.
Yes.
Which New Zealand teams impressed you the most? And then you said is the team to beat. Because they're
which
playing
one?
that well. So I'm going to go the team that's impressed me the most.
Tell me.
Is the Highlanders. I think they're a really tenacious team. They've got some firepower. The likes of Tangitau, Ratamotavuki, Neepkins playing well. Even Talia came in. Loose forward trio looks really good. When they lost Pledger and Fabian Holland, everybody thought, oh no, our season's done. But they've fronted big time, and you know when you're in the contest with them that it's going to be a contest big time, and it's great because there's not this big gap that we thought there would be, because their squad wasn't as deep as some of the others. So they're the team that's impressed me the most.
So thumbs up, they've impressed you.
Yep.
Will they win the competition in 2026?
You're doing that because I'm in Jeff's chair?
I don't know.
Highlanders train. They're capable. They are capable.
Well, the Hurricanes are sitting pretty at the top of our poll right now, just a little bit better than the Blues, 35%. What did you see from the Hurricanes that sets them apart? They're on top of the table right now. Can you see them staying there at the end of the season? And if they do, why? What will it be?
Ruben Love. The influence of Ruben Love and what sort of he brings. Now, the opportunities that they sort of go to, especially in the weekend, they had multiple opportunities on the outside edges. They also set things up really nicely in the middle with Beauden Barrett, and Harkin's done a wonderful job as well. It's now the ability to actually stick to something, because there's so many opportunities. It almost becomes, what do we actually go for? But I like that, and I like this. Their spine's actually really solid. They're getting some All Blacks back. There was a scare with Lomax sort of rolling his ankle. But when you bring a bench on, like they did over the weekend, that front row and the explosiveness that they brought, they are a force to be reckoned with.
That's what I liked how the Hurricanes, it was a bit of an arm wrestle in the first half. They put those subs on. They almost changed the way they played, and personnel was part of that, obviously. But they brought these forwards on. They just went, right, we're going to go through you. Stop us. And they couldn't stop them. And yes, they ended up scoring out wide, but dent through there and go wide. So I do like that they've got class, like you talked about, Millsy, but they also have power in their forwards. So again, I reckon your question, Kirst, is can they win? Yep, they can win, but so can the Chiefs. And so can many other teams.
So can the Blues.
So can the Blues.
And so can the Crusaders and the Highlanders, maybe.
But the thing about that is, isn't that what we want? Because that makes a good competition.
100%.
So I don't think anyone would put their house on this team is going to win at the moment.
Okay, that's great. They were pushed. The Hurricanes were pushed on Friday night by the Western Force. And Millsy, you've been doing a wee bit of speed dating, including the Force's hooker, Nick Dolly.
Yeah, really nice guy. I mean, it takes a lot to sort of get to know some of these guys. And when I sat down with him, man, it was pretty magical. I like this fella. He's a very nice guy.
Let's get to know him.
see you, Nick. Mate,
nice
great
to
to
meet
see you, man. You too. What's your idea of a perfect weekend?
Like a nice, golf trip away.
Golf?
Somewhere, yeah.
What do you play off?
Depends who I'm playing with. And depends how much money for. If it's for lots of money, maybe like 18. I think my handicap's at 12.
Wow.
12 or 13.
What do you look for in a partner?
Probably someone who can put up with me.
You might say that. You might say that. What do they have to put up with?
Oh.
Are you grumpy?
No, I've probably got selfish, not in a bad way, as in just I'm quite focused on what I want to do.
Tell us about yourself. Where did you grow up?
No, I grew up in Sydney, lived there till I was 17 and then moved over to England for eight years or so. My grandparents are over there, so I remember we were meant to stay for 8 weeks. I stayed for 8 years, and my granddad's mad for rugby, he's probably the maddest rugby head you'll meet.
Oh,
so
nice. Your proudest moment?
When I got capped for England, super proud of that. Having the opportunity to come back here and try and crack it for the Wallabies now, I think that's one of my big ambitions, to try and be the first person to do both.
So what's something that you're weirdly passionate about?
I'm very passionate about throwing, and especially the mental side of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's just such an underrated skill, especially in this game where it is so physical. You've got to be willing to be the centre of attention, 13, 25 times a game. So you've got to learn to sort of embrace it, eh?
Yeah. Have you got a secret skill? Party trick? What else?
I can juggle 4 balls.
Serious?
Yeah.
I can do 3. What made you want to juggle?
I don't know, I just got bored, locked down.
Karaoke, man. What's your go-to song?
Maybe Vanilla Ice. I don't know, just
Vanilla Ice.
Just something a bit different.
Yes.
But I'm not going to do it for you. If that's your next question.
No, well, I like Vanilla Ice. I'll say it because there's a key to having a good song. It's not so much that you're singing it the whole song.
Yeah.
You want to bring everyone into it.
Exactly.
Ice Ice Baby would be a good way to bring people in.
Yeah, it was good, interesting. Some intellectual conversations. He offered to pay, which was nice as well. So no complaints.
Oh, I love these. We get to know players that maybe we don't know as much about, Millsy.
Oh, you get to know things that you didn't even realise.
They get to know you as well.
Well,
so we deep dive into you and your personality.
To some degree, yeah. I'll keep a lot of things close to my chest, Chris. Go on.
Hey, look, there's some comments in here that we need to go through. J-Boy T from the Waikato says Crusaders are the sleeping giant. Adam from Christchurch says, shout out to my 3-day-old daughter Poppy, who got to experience her first Super Rugby weekend. Crusade on, nice, I like that. Nick from Hamilton says, I need to see the Chiefs versus the Blues rematch before determining the best New Zealand team. With Damien McKenzie, the Chiefs are a better side. So he's basically saying they play now, Marshy, Chiefs win.
Mm-hmm. Kind of.
What did you make of the Crusaders on the weekend? Discipline's clearly an issue for them this season, and what could have been for the Highlanders when you're coming up against 14 players for 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And to a degree, I think they'll really ruin missed opportunities, the Highlanders. You know, their line-out was massively dysfunctional when they needed it to be performing, you know, and they made some bizarre decisions of pitches they were seeing to go to the back of the line-out when the Crusaders were down a man, and those decisions baffled us, to be perfectly honest, and they'll probably look at it in their review and go, we really missed a chance when we had them under the pump to put some points on them. So then you look at the Crusaders, they look super dangerous at times. Will Jordan, that first try, unbelievable. They created, and then, with discipline, 3 yellow cards in a game, it's going to hurt you, you know. So if you get an opposition that are prepared to take those chances when you're down that amount of time for over 80 minutes with, 30 minutes, man, you'll get hurt.
This team is a different side with Will Jordan playing, isn't it?
Oh, are they what?
Yeah.
I mean, to still concede all those penalties, having guys in the bin. We often talk about the presence of guys that sort of come in, just their presence alone, but he does that, but also his ability to just break tackles, score magnificent tries, and also when the team's sort of, I'd say, clunky, he brings out the brilliance in him, right? Yeah. And so when you look at that, the week before they were hurt by those penalties against the Blues. They weren't as fluent as what they would have wanted to. Put one guy in there, and all of a sudden you've got a totally different team, particularly in those first sort of 20-odd minutes.
Just because your guys' words, not mine, I'm here to bring some brains to the operation.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Will Jordan.
That well.
Let's not forget, and I know we don't have overlay of it, but let's not forget about Angus Tarval with a short ball.
Yes.
Oh.
Let's not forget about that.
Oh, yes, of course. Hey?
Outstanding.
How many props around the country would have been on their feet watching it on their couches on Sky Sport when Angus was charging down the middle going, I do that every weekend in club on footy.
Well, it's been a good couple of weeks for props. Remember the Welsh prop? I can't remember his name. 30, 40 metres.
Yeah.
Been a couple of good weekends.
Yeah.
So what, you reckon players are sitting there on their couches, young kids going, I want to be a prop when I grow up.
Yeah, of
I want
course.
to be a prop. I don't want to be a 10.
Especially
I want
after
to be a
they've seen that social media imagery of what scrum training is like now.
They were going to be until you guys ruined it by showing that. Now no one wants to do it.
Well, no,
so that's on you.
Hayden Brown from Christchurch says, could Johnny Lee be the next Richie McCaw? This guy on debut, Marshy, you keep finding them. You keep finding these outrageous loose forwards.
Yeah.
Hayden saying Richie McCaw. Some are saying Ethan Black had a 2.0. Did he impress you?
Yeah, he did. He was tough. He showed great maturity. I think the other side of it is he's come through the system really well, you know, and because of that, you know, he's always been there knowing that the succession is all about hard work, you know, because to break into that Crusaders back row is never going to be easy, but he made his tackles, scored a couple of tries, didn't see him make any errors throughout the game, and for a young guy coming in on debut in a derby game, you know, you have to be impressed at the way that he slotted into that team seamlessly.
I loved his skills. I mean, that's probably the most targeted jersey, apart from number 7 jersey in the country, isn't it? Apart from the All Blacks one, when you look at it. I like his maturity. You're right. You know, the fact he's so young, he's set in there, but also his skill set, and when he put that pass away, but also being able to compose yourself in big moments. And so, but Richie McCaw, when you're comparing him to that, I mean, he's got a wee way to go, but I'd like to see him back it up, you know, and that's the next opportunity for him, but hell of a talent.
Are you questioning Hayden from Christchurch?
Well, I am. I mean, Richie McCaw's a goat. Come on, man. Come on.
We've got to start somewhere, don't we? We've all got to start somewhere. OK, time now for the brains and brawn against the brilliance of Justin Marshall. It's the full 80. These two are about to go head-to-head. Mills is going to be our adjudicator today. This is our debate segment on the show, and we want you to get involved and tell us, which region do you think has produced the greatest loose forwards? Auckland or Canterbury? Get involved and scan that QR code when it comes up in just a moment. The key is these two do not know which way they're debating. They don't know which region they're going to get. Mills has got a couple of envelopes. Hand them out, open it up.
You go, lads. Thank you, thank you.
Marshy, you're first.
Oh, I always get ripped off with the clock in this thing, but anyway.
OK, you've got 80 seconds, 40 seconds.
I've got Auckland.
I did not know.
Are you ready? You ready?
I was looking for some money to fall out as well, Millsy, but no.
Time starts now.
OK, all right. Well, what I've boiled it down to with Auckland is it's glamorous and showy compared to the rugged and tough of Canterbury. And the glamorous and showy are players like Michael Jones, you know, the original Lucy that played like a back. And then you got Mark Carter, Zinzan Brook, audacious, drop-kicking goals, punting the ball. Daniel Braid, you know, good-looking dude playing on the side of the scrum. Andrew Blowers. Probably the exception to the rule, you'd have to say, was Jerome Kano. You know, he was kind of more built like a Canterbury forward, but I feel that flashy, showy player had the ability to play the game in a different manner than what the Canterbury forwards did because they had ball skills and they could kick the ball.
Glamorous and showy. I thought you were talking about yourself for a minute there, Marshy. Over to you, Bates.
Can I just say quickly 2 things? Unfair, he mentioned 2 suburbs players, so that Millsy loves.
40 seconds on the clock.
40 seconds on the clock.
Go.
I'm just going to ask a question first. What loose forwards have won a Rugby World Cup as captain for the All Blacks? Richie McCaw?
Kieran Reid.
And Richie McCaw as a captain, right? So what we got in the... hurts me to say this a little bit, to be honest with you, but what we got in the Canterbury region is we've got Richie McCaw, All Black captain, we've got Kieran Reid, All Black captain, and we've got Ruben Thorne, All Black captain. 3 All Black captains, even though it hurts me to say, that's my debate done.
So you're saying Canterbury have the best loose forwards?
Don't make me say disgusting stuff
Say
like that,
it.
Kirsty.
Say it, Bates.
You made me say it by picking that envelope, so, yeah.
You picked it. There you go. 40 seconds up on the clock for each of them.
He's going to get hurt by the fact he went under time. That's disappointing from someone that's supposed to be so smart. Marshy had some great points. Glamorous. I love that feel. Named a lot of loose forwards. I'm going to have to side with Batesy. Because you make a good point, mate.
Is that because I didn't mention your nice blazer and shirt, or...?
No, you didn't this week, but I think you got great points, mate. You got some All Black captains.
He mentioned 3 players.
It's won Rugby World Cups.
Oh, mate, I'm not trying to debate Canterbury anymore. I was going to say quality over quantity, but I don't want to debate anymore because it makes me feel a bit dirty.
OK, well, look at the poll. 53% of you, this is changing, though, by the second, are saying Canterbury. Auckland is on the up. It's pretty close. And if I go to the text line right now, people are saying, nah, it's Wellington. Come on, you've missed an entire region.
Well, Tara, the last couple of weeks, these Hurricanes, we've got to give them more love. They've been coming at us heavy. Yeah, and they have produced and are still producing some magnificent loose
Can I just pick a small hole in Marshy's argument, though? What about Zinzan Brook?
I put him in there.
Oh, I missed it. Sorry, that's my bad.
Did you really? Did you not hear the word drop goals?
Sorry.
You're right about Wellington, yeah. I mean, you got Jerry Collins.
Yeah, they're naming them.
You've got Tia.
Ben Heron.
I tell you what, and we actually did a really good job at fitting one of your glamorous, showy loose forwards into our mix. Remember Ron Cribb?
Yeah.
Yeah. He came down
maybe
we moulded him into a hybrid.
How many Aucklanders went down
We've also given you from the Super City, Kieran Reid has gone down there as
They're
well.
They're still arguing about it, the opposite. Hold on a minute. Nick from Hamilton. Waikato has produced the best loose forwards. Stephen Bates, Marty Holler, Dwayne Monkley, John Mitchell, Sione Lauaki.
Wow. Yeah, who else?
It's a great debate.
It is great.
It is a great
Sam
debate.
Kane? Oh, sorry, I went Chiefs there, didn't I? Sorry.
Yeah, Bay of Plenty.
Sorry.
Do not forget his roots, Batesy. Look, you can continue this debate at home if you like as well. And this year we're celebrating 30 years of Super Rugby. We're taking you back to the 2015 final. It's a rematch this weekend. The Highlanders up against the Hurricanes.
This is some atmosphere in this boat. It really is special. This is going to be some final. Looking wide, goes wide for Nonu. There's the first try.
And that's a big shoulder.
Oh, down he went. Bounces way over the top of one.
They certainly are taking their opportunities better.
And off it goes. Savi has lost it. Dixon in a bit of space. Elliot Dixon still going. Close. I think he's got it down. Looking to work it towards Naholo's wing. Here's Dixon. Naholo gets it down. Now drop kick from Banks.
He's got it.
20 years of heartbreak and disappointment for Highlanders fans. They've won the Super Rugby title.
Morning's matchup. More than 90 points were scored at Stade de France. This was one of the greatest games of rugby ever. You were watching it ball by ball, moment by moment, with your coach's hat on, Batesy. Do you agree? I mean, it came right down to the wire after the 80 minutes for us to get a result.
Yeah, I probably wasn't watching it quite that deeply, Kirst, but as a competition, let's talk about the competition first. So the competition winner was decided in the final game of the competition after the 80 minutes. So what a competition I thought it was. But this game here, I thought was a great game of rugby. And I just mentioned in the break, one thing that concerned me, or one thing I thought both teams did really well, is the amount of tries they scored or got disallowed off the back of attacking kicks. I thought their ability to implement their attacking kicking game was outstanding.
There you go. You were watching with your coach's hat on, Marshy.
Yeah, it was an outstanding game of rugby, no doubt about it. I was very privileged to play in that game of the century in 2000 against Australia. It was a pretty cool game as well, where the lead changed and a lot of tries scored, and that was a very similar game. What I loved about this contest was it wasn't in a way, I guess, non-constructed. You know, like England had to work hard for their points, but they were prepared to work hard. Their attack looked good, their shape looked good. Like you said, kicking strategies were competitive. And then France, with their ability, you know, Louis Belberry, oh my goodness gracious, 4 tries, man, that guy can play.
Come to New Zealand.
I know, Dupont had his moments, didn't have the most magnificent game, but then still creates stuff, and the English hung in there, and guys like Marcus Smith and that came on, and yeah, it was an outstanding game of rugby, it really was. And the whole competition, I agree with Batesy, was sensational.
That performance must have saved Steve Borthwick's job, because just a week ago, everyone was saying, he's got to go.
It was a performance and a game that was fitting of a final, wasn't it? I mean, and that's what's the beauty of it. Yeah, you would have thought everything that sort of leading up to that game was the pressure was on England, and they had the ability to actually fold, and France were actually starting to come a little bit down, right? And so when they did and they were up a couple of times, they were a different team. And so if they provided that earlier on in the season, it could have been a heck of a different story for them.
Some competition. You guys have all mentioned how amazing this year's Six Nations Championship was. Here is the final standings. Look at Italy. Italy are sitting there in fourth and actually had a chance to be higher if they beat Wales on the weekend. But there is a question in here. I'm about to throw a bombshell, so all three of you listen to me. Chris from Auckland. Six Nations is better than the Rugby Championship. Change my mind.
Not going to probably disagree at the moment.
Well, yeah. Obviously, you know, it's a historic competition, but so is, you know, the Rugby Championship now as well, and it produces some pretty intense games. And you know, you only have to look at the two tests. You know, the All Blacks played in South Africa, the two tests here last year. You know, probably the Bledisloe's a bit damaging for the tournament at the moment because Australia haven't been able to win that Bledisloe, and the All Blacks have dominated them a lot. Argentina are capable, but yeah, that Six Nations tournament is, you know, arguably it is, because of its history, a better, more constructed tournament. And the teams are playing rugby now. You're not seeing 9-6 or 9-3 or 12-9, whatever it might be, you know. 9's coming out of my brain.
They're playing like teams in the Rugby Championship. Playing.
Yes, exactly. I know, they are playing. Yeah, we saw a lot of points in all those games.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a lot to do.
Just like we have done on Super Rugby over the weekend. Of course, every week we pick our breakdown at Team of the Week. So take a look there and make sure the players that you want are in there. Otherwise, let us know on your shout. Millsy, who is it from you that stood out on the weekend from our team? We're looking in the midfield again?
It's hard not to go past Jimmy, isn't it?
Every week.
Tava Nawa. But there is a few force players in there. But, man, I was watching him and his ability to be able to bounce off players week in, week out. Man, it's just so tough to put down. And you kind of would have thought, you know, second year in, they would have sort of handled. Look at those thighs.
Yeah.
Gee, man, hard man to put down.
Yeah, unbelievable season of Super Rugby, just like he had last year, right? Batesy, what about for you?
I really liked the force captain, Jeremy Williams. I thought he was really outstanding around defensive line-out, and he got the Hurricanes rattled in that first half a little bit, and the force were able to play off the back of that. As we mentioned, they made some personnel changes and then kicked on the Hurricanes, but I really liked Jeremy Williams' input onto the game and how he upset the Hurricanes' flow.
Okay, Colin from Foxton saying Ruben Love should be there. He wasn't because Carter Gordon is in there at 10, because you liked him.
Yeah, I do. And obviously the Reds are trending in the right direction. Good win against the Brumbies down in Canberra, and then they've had a good win against New South Wales, which was another good game of rugby, to be fair, coming out of Australia. But Carter Gordon, he came back from rugby league. It was kind of the progression. Then he went to rugby league, and now he's come back to rugby, playing for a different side, playing for the Reds. And he's playing very good rugby. Like I think that it's absolutely, there's no coincidence that their form is reflective of, they've got a general there that's playing, making good decisions, scoring tries, kicking his goals, and hey, that's a problematic jersey for Australian rugby, and he's making a stand at the moment for them.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
It is just 40 days before Christchurch Stadium opens.
Come on.
Super Round is not too far away. But I tell you what, we want you to join this competition if you haven't already. Our mates at The Crowd Goes Wild, they are running a competition. Scotland is calling. You can win a trip for two to Scotland to the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo. This is an experience worth $25,000. And all you have to do to enter is tell us what is the most famous Scottish instrument. Email www.sky.co.nz/TREMT. The competition closes on Thursday, so you want to be involved in that. Who wouldn't want a trip to Scotland? One of your favourite places?
Oh, that's an incredible place, yeah.
And if not Scotland, then Christchurch. So if you're not going to be in Scotland, make sure you join us at our Super Rugby lunch. This is celebrating 30 years of Super Rugby. All the legends of the game are going to be down there. Piri Wepu, Stephen Donald, Kieran Reid, the list goes on and on. So email if you would like to get tickets to come along during Super Round. But what about round 6? Round 6, Highlanders, Hurricanes.
Yeah. Again.
After what you've said about the Highlanders.
Yeah, I know, and the Hurricanes, supposedly the form team. I'm going to pick the Highlanders. Do you go?
You pick the Highlanders?
I'm in this chair.
You're in this chair.
Hurricanes for me.
It's the Hurricanes for you?
What do I have to? I'd pick the Hurricanes. Is that okay with beef? If it's okay with him, I'll pick the Hurricanes.
He's picking them to win the entire competition.
Okay, Hurricanes.
So I reckon it is okay with me. Hey, thanks for coming along, Batesy. Brilliant work from you two as well. Thank you for joining us on The Breakdown this week. And for all your questions that you've submitted, we haven't been able to get through all of them, but we'll save some for next week. We'll see you then.